New from Radiance, number 104 in their range, is A Tale of Sorrow and Sadness, a Seijun Suzuki film. And that's one of those directors' names that always pops out at me because every one of his films that I've seen, I've loved for one reason or another. It's an exciting film director, but it's an even more exciting reality for his filmmaking career. This Tale of Sorrow and Sadness, which was released in 1977, has returned to the director's chair after 10 years, his last film being Branded to Kill in 1967. And if you have a chance or you don't know much about him, it's worth reading up on Suzuki's career, particularly some of the stuff that they've done with Nikatsu, which is just terrific from a historical point of view, particularly around the idea of his films, which can be very creatively put together. The way they're shot, the use of colour, the editing, the voiceover, the mismatching images with the voiceover is all stuff that creates a wonderful aesthetic. And going into this, knowing it was a movie about women's golf, I wasn't really sure what kind of Suzuki I was going to get. Of course, you can see his familiar hand at the director's chair as he creates a wonderful film that starts off like an almost sports prodigy. A little bit of a dig at big business and advertising as they're trying to create a superstar. They try to manufacture the next big thing in women's golf so that they can get in on the ground floor cheaply and use her to advertise all their goods.
ではお話であった玲子の企画話し進めてよいでしょうか。相当勘の強そうな子だがテレビには向くかね。
It's a kind of twisted idea, but one that leads to some fun antics on the golf course as we have someone training our female golfer, trying to get her up to speed so that she can win this big tournament, or at least place well within it. The surprises come is when she actually wins the tournament and her whole life is suddenly changed at that moment. And that's where it becomes something very different. I thought this was going to be a movie with building that, looking at advertising, the twisted nature of it, but it does that in the first half hour and then becomes something far more creative later on.
いいのよ。お友達なんですもの。
無理しなくたっていいわよ。
We follow our main character of Rico. She has that success in the golf course. She channels it into a TV show. She starts to become popular. She starts to become someone that a lot of women really attune to and like. Some more than other, in the form of Kyle, a woman who one night almost throws herself in front of Rico's car and gets injured. And from that moment onward, she takes a big interest in Rico's life, instigating herself into it where she's not wanted, blackmailing her over the incident, forcing her to do horrific things, almost torturing her. And it becomes a psychological thriller, as well as looking at the warped idea of fame and I'd say the kind of toxic nature of womanhood as they kind of love and cherish and raise this woman up and then take great pleasure in almost tearing her apart.
ボトムです。
And it's these sequences, particularly of Rico and Keo together, as they form a bond but hate each other at the same time. And this kind of toxic friendship where there is no reciprocation. It's all take, or particularly in Keo's case, that really creates a wonderfully tense and anxious finale of the film. It has some really interesting things to say, and I love that about it. You start off with a movie about golf. It feels kind of quirky and funny as they try to sort of rig the system, and then, as Suzuki does, changes it into something else, and has a lot to say about advertising, about the men using women to get more money, about women raising other women up and tearing them down, and it becomes a rather nasty film throughout it, but it's wonderfully shot. It has these beautiful, terrific moments. It has this great use of cut right from the opening. It has this terrific use of colour, which Suzuki does so well, that just makes this a visually stunning film. And I'd expect no less from Suzuki as well. I thought A Tale of Sorrow and Sadness was wonderful. It was surprising, it was entertaining, it had lots of thematics mixed throughout it, and some great performances. Yoko Shiraki was absolutely terrific in this one as well. And there is a small cameo for Joe Shishido as well, if you keep an eye out for him. Terrifically wonderful. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for A Tale of Sorrow and Sadness. Let's go to the special features. First up, we have an audio commentary by Sam Dean. Next, we have Kuniko Ukai. In this new interview, the veteran editor recalls the film's troubled production and his own activities in the protest movements of supporting Seijun Suzuki after his firing from Nikatsu. Created exclusively for Radiance in November 2024 and at 19 minutes 54 seconds. This one is great. Someone who was actually present and involved with a lot of the things that were going on, giving his perspective on it, on Suzuki's career, and how he was kind of misaligned with Nikatsu. It's a great talking head. Then we have the trailer. Also included within this set is a 32-page book where we have one essay by Jasper Sharp and the realisation of Seijun Suzuki film, which is all about the making of it. It's an interview talking to someone who was brought in to write the film, just his thoughts, where he was in his career, working with Suzuki, and there's some really kind of fun anecdotes within that as well. And that's the extras for A Tale of Sorrow and Sadness. So there we have it. A Tale of Sorrow and Sadness was absolutely wonderful. I was blown away with this movie. 93 minutes of just sheer awesomeness. I went on a roller coaster ride with Suzuki's return to directing, and I just kind of miss out on those 10 years wondering what he could have created. Time's gone. I'd love to know your thoughts on A Tale of Sorrow and Sadness. Let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, or fall somewhere in the middle. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff in the description box below, are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.